this year. So staying tuned for that. But as of right now, just speaking on Jalen Hurts, do you think Jalen Hurts is playing at an MVP level?
No, not with
Why?
the way some of the other quarterbacks are playing.
Go ahead. Why do you say that?
Well, okay.
Top 10 in top 10 in every category.
Yes,
And
but
if you want to take an account, if you want to take an account, also, I got the Eagles rushing numbers as a team. They are
yeah.
12th in total yards rushing, and they are
Yep.
20th in yards per carry, meaning they are not running the ball effectively. And this is
No,
after
they're not.
today. This is after today's game.
Yes.
So
Yeah. You're
yes, what do you
okay.
say
Go
on
ahead.
that? Go ahead.
So,
Finish
do
your
you think Jalen Hurts is more valuable to the Eagles than Daniel Jones is to the Colts?
I don't. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying, is he playing at an MVP level? I'm saying,
Okay.
is he somebody who is right now over the thing of the league? Okay, if you want to take in guys, Daniel Jones. No, Daniel Jones has been playing great this year. I think he should be in the MVP race. I'm
Okay.
saying, is Jalen Hurts right now playing at an MVP level? That doesn't mean he needs to be number one. I'm saying that,
Okay.
is he playing at an
Okay.
MVP level?
Okay. Now that you say it like that, then yes,
I'm not saying he's number
at an
one.
MVP level, but he's not a contender for the MVP. If
Mm,
that makes sense.
okay,
Because
I
okay,
got.
look, like for example, Daniel Jones,
Mm-hmm.
he's been fantastic.
Sure.
They're also 6-2. Nobody came into this
Nobody
season
came
was
in.
like
Yeah, I
Colts
get
are
you.
about to be 6-2. That's
Yeah.
my team, by the way.
But he
Anybody
also
who
has the number one rusher in the league right now, which is Jonathan Taylor, who's also like in conversation for offensive player of the year.
yeah, agreed. No, I'm not saying that these teams don't have people. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying last
As
year
far as value that
horrible.
he brings to the team, the value he brings.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Last year the Colts were horrible. Couldn't even
Yeah.
watch them.
Mm-hmm.
This year they're 6-2. They're looking like they're going to be pretty good. Now we'll see because sometimes they be flopping on me. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we'll see.
Then you got Drake May, who Drake May nobody thought the Patriots would be what they are right now. Who's I think they're also 6-2.
Yes,
If I'm
Drake May's been fantastic, and he's ahead of Jalen in 3 of the 4
three of the
categories.
four categories, right? And this is where we'll get to
So
our
I mean, he's got 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns as well.
mm-hmm.
He has uh 76 QBR. It's like, I mean, I don't think he's a contender. I definitely don't think he's a top 5 contender for
Really.
MVP for
Oh
sure.
wow,
No.
that's where me and you disagree, and we'll talk about that.
Okay, but hold on.
We'll talk
Okay,
about
yeah,
that.
we'll talk about that in
Mhm.
that. But my thing is, MVP isn't a team award, even though it has some things to do with the team.
Mhm.
But like to
You think
be
it's just stats?
the Eagles' record should have no bearing on, or not no bearing, but it should have. You give it too much value, in my opinion, for the
Well,
MVP
they give
award.
it too much. They give it too much value. You can't be a losing team and be an MVP. You can't.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like, I
When
think
you
the Eagles, if you replaced Jalen Hurts with a few quarterbacks, I think they still would also be 6-2.
but we can't speak hypothetically though. We can't do
I
that.
get that.
Can't do that.
But then how do we know what his value is if there's nobody else to replace him?
You
If we
just
can't
have to
replace
take
him.
what you see right now.
Oh,
It's not about
all
that.
right, then he's closer to the 10th spot in most of the categories than he is the 5th spot. Is he
Okay.
not? Except the pass rating. Pass rating has been impressive. But he also has a lower volume than most of those other quarterbacks.
And
So
and then
that
when
does
you
help.
okay, but when you also take in context that virtually the first 2 games of the season, he was virtually ineffective passing the football anyway. This is all
Yeah.
happening between week 3 to 8. In 5 weeks, he's been.
Yeah.
This is what the numbers has been.
Yeah.
In
He's been
5 weeks.
playing a lot better than those first 2 games, for sure. But
So
overall, it's
you don't
still
think
it's still not up there though. I mean, there's quarterbacks already in the 2000s. Like he's still 2 games away from that the way he's been playing.
okay, and then they're gonna also exceed those numbers and keep
See
getting.
what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying on that. I'm
Yeah.
saying, okay, in your opinion, you don't think he's a top 5 contender for MVP. You don't
Not right
think
now. No,
you
not. But that's right now though. It could change in 4
think it could
weeks,
change. Do you
or
do
it could
you
change in 3
believe
weeks.
do you believe with the numbers, because he's been getting, obviously he's been climbing, because or what was it? He was like 16th in QBR not too a couple weeks ago. Now he's
Uh,
at something like he's like middle of the pack or something like.
yeah, it was like 13. Yeah, like 13 or
Yeah.
14, something like that. Yeah, no.
So
Again,
like
like I
he's
said,
been
it's always
getting
subject to change. But
sure.
as of right now, I would say no. He's not top 5 for MVP.
That's where
But
me disagree.
but could he sneak into that fifth spot? Absolutely. Because if the Eagles finish 14-3 or 12-5, like how could you not mention their
Their quarterback.
their quarterback? Yeah. So like,
But I don't.
so
I don't.
yes, he could, but I don't think it would be on his like his individual play numbers. It would be more like because the team is good and he's the leader of that team, you kind of got to put him in there. Because I don't think his numbers, like for example, like Dak obviously is not gonna be able to win win like him, but his numbers are better.
He stunk
Like
today.
he has, but he has better numbers than him. You know what I
But
mean? Like I don't think that the Patriots are gonna be able to hold that up. But Drake May has better numbers as of right now.
do you think it's
Herbert, same thing.
I'm not putting Herbert. I'm not putting Herbert in the.
Well, I'm saying he has better individual numbers.
Okay, but
I don't think his team can win like that.
You think that's the be all end all of what the MVP is? You think that's what, like, I think this is where I disagree with a lot with the voters as well, is that, like, last year Josh Allen did not have a better year overall as a player than Saquon or Lamar Jackson. He didn't.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
I thought Josh Allen was fantastic.
Lamar Jackson was the best quarterback in football last year.
I think that Lamar Jackson lost it when he lost to the Bills.
That's what that one game.
But you see, here's the thing, though. You put the two MVP quarterback, and he folded.
You're talking about the
they lost to him.
No, they beat them in the regular season.
Oh, he lost to the Chiefs. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say the Chiefs.
But that was week 1.
But here's my thing, though, is it was a pattern that was established of like losing those big games, and then to come in and do that right away. That's what that hurt him. Then it's like Josh Allen. Then Josh Allen. I mean, no one. Like I said, it's hard to say with the Bills like that. You were like, yeah, they're about to be XYZ, and except if he plays like this, and he played like that. You know what I mean? That's why it's hard. It's see, there's need to be a certain criteria to the MVP,
I agree.
And they need to make it very, very it's got to be straight. Yes,
yeah.
Because they have way too much variance. Like for example, and this is a simple example. Derrick Rose and LeBron. Like obviously LeBron's the better player, but Derrick Rose was better for the Bulls that year in 2011. So like it's hard because no sport really has come up with this is the MVP criteria. You give it to the best player in the league. It's not that. It's like there's some narratives behind it, how you feel about the person. Like it's just it's tough to really, but the way I judge MVP is like statistical dominance first, then I go to team play. Because I think that it has to be like your numbers have to reflect the outcomes. You know what I mean? So like Brock Purdy, I like Brock Purdy. I like him. I know he's not one of the best. I know he's probably, a mid quarterback, but I like him. But like he can go 13-4 and do minimal stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I can't put team success. Yes, but that he shouldn't be considered for MVP because his statistics won't match the record. Do you see what I'm saying? So like I'm not saying that Jalen's stats don't match the record, but I do know though if he had his same stats and you transfer him into a different situation, I don't think that team is going to win like this team can. And that sucks for him because it does hurt him having a really good team around him.
That's where me and you disagree is that I think the stats are a reflection of what the team does around, like what the team does, the scheme the team has. Like last year, he didn't have overly impressive passing numbers by any means. But we also had a 2,000-yard rusher, and we ran for 2,700 yards as a team, and almost 3,000 yards as a team. So it's like obviously there's one ball to go around. You're not going to pass for 4,000 yards.
I know.
So
I agree.
I think that's why there has to be, like you said, I think there has to be a clear cut. perfect example. Trevor Bauer on his thing. Obviously, it's a different sport, whatever. But
Yeah.
in Japan, you have to lead the thing in ERA, wins, strikeouts, but to be the MVP,
See, now that might be fair. That would be fair.
Right. But since it's not like that, I think we have to take that out of our minds of like, okay, he's not number one in this, he's not number one in that. I think there has to be a level of just be subjective with what you see, okay, and look at them on the team that they are. Look at them on that team, and this is why people are putting Jared Goff ahead of Jalen Hurts in the MVP discussion.
And I would too.
And this is where me and you disagree on these things because already Jalen Hurts, like, you want to put into account the team that he has around him, right? AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, but all this insane team, which I can't disagree with you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Jared Goff has the leading rusher in the NFC, who's Jahmyr Gibbs, and also like he has the best overall running game in the NFC,
in the league. Yeah,
in the league. Like,
but here's but how much of that? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish your point, and then I want to rebuttal that a little bit.
My point is that you obviously see, like, and you can tell that teams try to make the reason why they're getting one-on-one on the outside and things like that is because they're trying to stack the box and stop Gibbs and Montgomery, and the O-line just doesn't let it happen. Like they still open holes regardless. And then when you do that, and when Jahmyr Gibbs is running for 150 yards, and then obviously that's going to open up that play action game, and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams going to be one-on-one, and that's just easy.
St. Brown is a beast, by the way.
The Eagles did that same exact thing last year. The Eagles did the same thing last year because the box wasn't loaded, because obviously you do know you got to play shell coverage because you got AJ and Devontae on both sides. And that's why Saquon went crazy. Now, if you see, the Chiefs laid out the blueprint in the Super Bowl, the blueprint in the Super Bowl. All right, we're just all out on here. We're going to blitz. We're going to run blitz. We're just going to 8 in the box. And we're going to try to just let Jalen, like, if Jalen Hurts beats us, he beats us. But we're not going to let Saquon beat us. Now, I think it's dumb. I think that's very dumb.
Okay.
To do that because Jalen Hurts proven.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my point.
Okay, now, but here's the problem. See, now that makes it hard for you to be in the MVP conversation. The stat you said at the beginning of the thing, I didn't even know that. Tell that stat one more time about how many times it's like. You said it's like 50% of something. Like there was 8 in the box or something.
54% of the time.
Okay, now can you imagine? How can you be if teams are scheming for a different player? How can you be the most valuable? If teams aren't even scheming for you, they're scheming for somebody else on your team. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be like if the Heat showed up to the thing and was like, oh yeah, we're going to scheme for Dwayne Wade and let LeBron do his thing. Not like, you can't do that. So like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, he's not even the most valuable. And when I say he is, because he's the quarterback, he is technically the most valuable, but he's not even the best player on his team. The player that they're trying to stop first is Saquon. So if you're already like an afterthought, how can you be in the conversation for MVP? Like when Gibbs is running, Gibbs and them are being able to run because they, How
do you say that with Jared Goff? Then when their scheme is, we're going to stop.
We'd have to. I don't know the stats on that, but 54. If you're saying 54% of the time they have 8 in the box, that makes it really easy to pass. It should, and he's still not even putting up like gaudy pass numbers, even with the box stacked like that, and they're playing a run heavy defense. Like, for example, Lamar, he's like the king of like making them have to put safeties in the box instead of linebackers. And that helps. That was helping Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? When he ran for 2,000 last year. Didn't he run 2,000 last year, right? Or the year before that?
It was like 1,700 or something, like 1,800, something like that.
So when he ran for that much, I mean, you had safeties trying to tackle Derrick Henry because they had to scheme for Lamar. You see what I'm saying? Like, other teams, they have to scheme for the other team's quarterback. But like, when they face the Eagles, we're looking for, okay, we got to stop the running back, then the quarterback. That makes it hard to win an MVP. You could at least see that point, right? Like, and that's fair to me. I feel like that's fair. And it might not be the best strategy because obviously it's not really working. I mean, it's 6-2. But when I see teams are coming in and they're like, okay, let's make sure that Saquon can get off first, then we'll live with the quarterback making reads and plays. I think that's very difficult for me to put him past somebody like a Jared Goff or Herbert, where you're like, they're not really about to run it. Not Jared Goff. I'm sorry. When you're talking about like Herbert, Dak, and obviously Dak's not in it, but I'm just giving you other quarterbacks. When you come in and you're scheming for the other quarterback, and you're like, we got to stop him, what he likes, so. And then we'll go to the run game. You know what I mean? That's what makes it hard for Jalen. His team is so good that it makes it hard for him to win because he may not be the best player on the team. Do you know what I mean?
And this is where me and you now this is where I'm gonna propose this question. Do you
Okay.
think that the MVP should only be a quarterback award then? Because if now you're scheming for not Saquon, and now you're like the coach, when you play the Colts, you're scheming for Jonathan Taylor. You're not scheming for Daniel Jones. You're scheming for Jonathan
No, you're
Taylor.
right.
Now,
Facts. That's facts.
so
That's
like
very similar to the
that.
situation you have now.
So now if that's the case, if you're just like, all right, who's the most valuable guy on their team? All right, then the other guys shouldn't be considered for MVP then. Like Daniel
And low
Jones is being
key,
considered for MVP. Daniel
yeah,
Jones is being
but
considered for MVP.
he's also been very, very good with the ball too, though. See, and that's the fine line. That's what we're talking about now, kind of with the MVP thing, when we need a set criteria, because he has also really been passing the ball very well. Like, I mean, we're talking about second in QBR. I mean, actually first in QBR, tied for first QBR. He's 15th in touchdowns, but he's got 2,000 yards. That's fifth in the league. So like, it's not like he's just been like, oh, like just normal. Like this is like gaudy for him. Like this is a whole nother step up from anything that anybody ever thought he could do. You know what I mean? When he was in New York, he didn't look like he was even capable of doing this. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, and
So that kind of
then I'll
helps.
tell you. Sure.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you. Obviously, they don't look at this, but this is why I try to add context to everything. Is that
Mm-hmm.
look at the coach he has, same as that coach Jalen Hurts had in 2022 when
Yep.
he had
And
his
22.
MVP, when he had his
Yep.
MVP
Yep.
season.
Yep. He
Like,
does.
so I think, and also scheme 100% matters. I think it matters when it comes to these things. And when you look at Kevin Petula, I will give him. I've trashed him over the last few weeks. I give him credit. Over the past 2 weeks, he has opened up the playbook by putting Jalen Hurts under center more and making the offense less predictable. And I think that's extremely beneficial to what Jalen Hurts does well, which is, yes, Eagles are going to lean on that run game and that big offensive line. And then once that run game opens up, that they're going to have to bring those guys down in the box. And that's what's going to open up these passes for Smitty, for Devontae, for AJ, for Dotson. Like it's all, like I said, it's all complimentary football. But then the quarterback being the most valuable player on the team and knowing that he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. He does.
Yep,
he just
that's
doesn't.
true.
He's not gonna lose you the game. He is not.
No,
That's
you're
one
right.
thing he won't do is lose the game. He's gonna make all the throws necessary in that specific game, even if it's one or two throws at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. He's gonna put those throws on the money for you to win the game. I think that has to be taken into account. I just do.
Okay. And I don't think that that's an unfair assessment. I just think the weight you put on it may be too much. He is a complimentary player, but a really high level of that. You know what I mean? It's not. Again, I keep saying this, but it's like very important to me that it's not that I'm saying he's not good. He's very good. But when you're crossing over into that elite category, this is like irreplaceable people. You can't take Mahomes off of his team, put somebody else in, and they be okay. Like you can't do that. You can't take Mahomes off the Chiefs and put, even if you want to put like a Burrow or something like that, they're still not the same team. Like, and I wholeheartedly believe that because like
You believe that?
I believe that because I believe that Mahomes is probably the second or third best quarterback we've seen already, like of all time. Already.
I'm not even disagreeing that point. I'm not at all. I
Okay,
don't disagree.
so
That
like,
yeah.
I don't think that Burrow comes in and it looks like the second or third best quarterback ever.
But
you think so? You think he
like if he came into the
see
league
now?
with Tyreek
Again, you got to
Travis
re-scheme
Kelce,
it. Well, you got to re-scheme it then.
But Andy Reid is one of the best at adjusting to whoever his quarterback is.
100%. I can't deny that, and he can make a quarterback look really, really good. That may not
so
be like
already
done it for Donovan McNabb. Not Donovan. Donovan McNabb's good, but
like Joe Burrow, he comes into a scheme with Andy Reid. I think you don't lose much there.
I mean, you I don't know though, but it's still Patrick Mahomes' like ability.
He's yeah, you're right.
But it's
I get
not
that.
just that; it's also the physical. Like his actual arm is just better.
Okay.
It like he's
Right.
probably the only person that can actually throw it. Like Tyreek Hill's probably really learning that right now. That Mahomes is
Yeah.
probably the only person
Yeah.
in the league currently, besides maybe Cam Ward. But I mean, obviously, he's not the same
I
processor.
mean, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen could do it too. Yeah, but again, not the same. I don't think
Not,
he's
yeah,
as good of a processor either. But he
oh,
has
I
the
don't.
arm to do it.
I
But
don't
he has the
disagree.
arm to do it, though. You're right about that.
Yeah.
But that's probably the only person that he could really like connect with like that, to
Mm-hmm.
where they can just do whatever. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
one
because
ball
when
he
you
threw
do
in the
look
Super
back,
Bowl.
yeah, when you look back, man, that they were getting 200 yards in the first like half for fun, like
That's
for
what I'm
fun,
saying.
like
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So like Mahomes took it to a whole nother level, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can't just replace that. But let's say
But a guy not being to that level of Mahomes, I don't think
mhm,
diminishes is the value that he has for his team. I don't.
who's value to whose team?
I'm saying I'm saying if you take a quarter like you're saying it's like oh like if you take out Mahomes it's not the same thing. I and I'm not disagreeing with you by any means.
Okay.
I'm saying that you saying that I don't think diminishes the value of Jalen Hurts for his team. I don't, and I don't
But
think
I
I
think that
really don't.
I think I have a better chance of replacing Jalen Hurts and getting similar results with a similar style quarterback than trying to replace Patrick Mahomes, even with an elite quarterback, even with Joe Burrow. Because I'm then you're asking Joe Burrow every week to go because this is virtually when they weren't running the ball at all. Like this is like
Yeah, they could
Mahomes
run the
throwing
ball. Yeah,
40 a
yeah,
game.
yeah.
So like
Mhm.
to ask him to do that week in, week out, week in, week out, maybe he could do it. I'm not saying that he couldn't. He isn't also an elite quarterback. But like you're asking him to do something that we've never seen before. Like 40, he was throwing the ball like 40 times a game. Probably on average
Mhm.
like 32, 33. But like that's kind of crazy. And then running like 13. Like
Mhm.
that's gonna be hard to replace. But like with Jalen, like and I don't worry so much about the name, but like Brock Purdy does kind of that similar thing for San Fran, where it's like, okay, I need you to throw this amount of times this week, and then next week you might not throw at all.
I,
And he has a similar
I,
kind of style of team where it was defense heavy. They have a very very good running back that they're preparing for with CMC,
mhm.
and then obviously also the run game with the wide receiver. What's his
Debo.
name? Debo. Yeah, Debo Samuel. Yeah. They were also using him as a running style running back too. So like it's kind of a similar situation. That's somewhere where Jalen also would fit. But like I mean, I'm sorry. Brock could also do the same thing that Jalen does now, and he's also
This is
taking
where
that team to the he's taking that team to the Super Bowl too. So we can't act like they didn't go to the Super Bowl,
yeah,
and they
this
probably would
where
have beat. Okay, go ahead.
this is where me and you disagree. This is where we disagree with this. Is that
Mm-hmm.
when you look at a guy, okay, like oh yeah, similar team around him. Like I think San Francisco is the only team that you could be like, oh, this guy has literally everything around him
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
is like
Yep.
perfect.
Yep. Yep.
So if you want to use Brock Purdy as the comparison, all right, that team did get to the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl with San Francisco.
One
My
thing,
overall,
real quick.
but
I'm not saying that they're on the same level. Brock Purdy
mm-hmm,
is a
mm-hmm,
level below Jalen Hurts. Like it's not like they're like right neck and neck. No, 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 no.
sure.
That wasn't the point of what I was saying. The point of what I was saying is a really good team can make a mid quarterback have good team success.
And I
Now,
don't
when you add
disagree.
a very good quarterback to a really good team, then that's what Jalen Hurts is. He's taking it to the next level, where like
Right.
they're perennial people like this. Like the San Fran needs everything to be right. They have to have CMC. They have to have Debo. They all have to be available. Like you can't have
Mhm,
one. You can't be missing one piece. Like Jalen can make up for one missing piece, like he did this week with AJ Brown. Without AJ Brown, he made up for that piece missing. Brock Purdy
mhm.
doesn't have that kind of talent where he could just be like, "Oh, Debo's not playing. Oh, I'll take care of it." No, it's not that. So that's that. Just making sure that those levels are separate. Like they're not
Yeah, and
close.
that's what I was gonna get
Okay.
to. That's what I was gonna get to
Okay.
because I was thinking that you were saying is like they're like they're there, like
Yeah.
they're there.
No. No.
Okay, as long as we agree on that, because
Yeah.
this
No.
is
I
what
don't
that's
think
what
so.
separates me, Jalen Hurts, from a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL is
Yes.
that
Yes.
you put that stuff around Jared Goff. And yes, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that the Lions are as good overall as the Eagles, but I think he has a
Mm-hmm.
very, very good team.
He does. You're
They
right.
were the number
You're
one
correct.
seed last year, 15-2, and lost to the
Yep.
7 seed Commanders. Got spanked, and Jared Goff was a reason because he threw 2 picks. Like
Yeah,
that's
he's
what
bad.
Jared Hurts won't do, and
That's the
in
thing
a
that
situation where
yes.
and it's a situation where the Detroit Lions defense wasn't really good, and especially
Yeah.
in the playoffs because they were hurt. So what does the quarterback need to do? Not put you in a position to
Yeah.
lose the game.
He needs to go up another level and
Which
really
is
be
why
safe.
to me
Which
Jalen
is
Hurts is over
yes.
Jared
Yes.
because of the fact that okay, my defense is gonna give up this many points. I know for a fact I'm gonna keep their offense off the field because we're gonna
Yep.
run the ball. I'm gonna make the
Mm-hmm.
throws on third down to extend the
Mm-hmm.
drives, and we're at
Mm-hmm.
least gonna put up 3 points every single drive, at least for
And
the at the very
and
minimum.
and I don't disagree with your point. I really
Mhm,
don't. I really don't disagree with your point. That is the but that doesn't make you elite. That like I said, that just puts you in that very good category where he's very good. Like he understands he's not gonna overimpose himself. Like I keep saying, he's not gonna overimpose himself. So you'll never have to worry about Jalen being like, you know what, I gotta make this play. Let me just air it out wherever it goes, it goes. Like you'll never see that. Right? Like remember that remember the game that Golf and Mahomes played and they both scored like
one of
50?
the best games I've ever
That
seen.
was the
Yeah, yeah,
craziest game I've ever seen. But like
mhm,
some of those throws, Jared Goff was just like, yeah, I just throw it, whatever. And sometimes it
somebody will.
happened. And then remember he had the
Yeah,
2 picks, and those that
yeah,
cost him in a game like that. That can cost you the game.
mhm,
And so I agree with you in that sense. Is part of being a really good quarterback is not turning the ball over, not putting it in harm's way, not
mhm,
giving the other team an opportunity, keeping the other team off the field, being
mhm,
smart enough to understand like, okay, this might not work. Let me just get rid of it, or
mhm.
let me slide or whatever. Just the little things. He does all of that excellent. The little things,
Right.
the little tush push thing. He's got all of that on like level on excellent. It's just
Mhm.
the overall game. He's not at that level, if that makes sense. Like part of also being a good quarterback is taking those risks. Um, and being able to execute them though. And it looks bad when you don't, and it looks great when you do. It's kind of like that Mahomes thing where he has like he makes a really highlight play, and then you'll be like, why did you just throw that? Like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
it's that
right.
same that's that
Yeah.
same thing that also puts him in that category. So like I said, do I think he's an elite? No, but do I think he's like right there on the cusp of it? Yes. Do I think he has the talent to do it? I think so. I just haven't seen that where it's like every week. Well, I mean, and it doesn't have to be that because that's the other hard thing about judging Jalen is he the team does what the team needs. They won't just be like, "Oh, quarterback, go win me the game." Do you know what I mean? So that's part of the thing that makes it hard for me to be like he's in an elite category because the team will kind of play the way that they need to. It's the same reason why Tom Brady probably doesn't have any more MVPs than he does, is because he can't get the gaudy numbers because his team playing whatever way.
I,
Um.
and that's what I'm saying. I think to me, which I think is a really good trait that Jalen has, is that he
Mhm.
goes obviously during prep or whatever the case is, whoever they're about to play. I think they come up with a game plan. But I think once he gets into the game, I think he's a gamer, and he's like, okay, he in his mind on the sideline, going through the plays, going through the coverages, picking apart the coverages. He's like, okay, what's it gonna take for me to win this particular game? What like this game? What's it gonna take? Okay, I don't
Right.
care if when we came into the game thinking we're gonna air it out all over the field, what's it gonna take for this game to win the game? And I think that's exactly what is very much to me, I appreciate it in my quarterback because
Yes.
he goes like, okay, you know what? They're playing that quarters coverage. We're not getting anything over the top today. Let
Yeah.
me take my free throws here. Let me take this. Let me take that. Let me
Yes.
let's run him out of that zone. Like and he goes and I'm telling you, he's been more vocal with the offensive coordinator this year than I've ever seen him. And I
Yep.
think it's because his IQ is so I think
Yeah.
it's very excellent. His IQ is to me is elite. The way he sees the game, that he's like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever it is that we went into this game, scratch that.
Mhm.
We have to go now. We have to do this because you see what they're doing. We
Yep.
have to I think he is extremely good at adjusting on the fly of what team needs to win that game. And just like last week, he saw, you know what? They're gonna zero blitz us. I'm not gonna give him the ball to have a chance to win the game. The Vikings. He's like, they're gonna zero blitz. Let me check to let me he made that call, by the way. He checked to AJ Brown on that double move because he knows with a zero blitz, that corner's probably gonna bite on that first move because we gotta get rid of the ball.
Yeah, because you gotta jump on one of them. You can't be passive the whole thing.
To me, that's
a good mind. Yes.
It's cerebral.
Yes.
And I think it's very important to note that. And like I said, me and you have different definitions on what elite is as far as elite quarterback play. But I take all that stuff into account, and me watching the games, at least Eagles games, every single. I don't miss an Eagles game. I see.
No, he doesn't.
At all. Like I'm texting you at all. Like I don't miss. I haven't missed an Eagles game maybe in since 2020. That's probably the last time I missed an Eagles game, and that was COVID year when Carson Wentz was in there stinking it up. But but
let me see how objective you are though.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do an objective test. Mm-hmm. Did he have the best game this week?
Best in what aspect?
Did he have the best game? Quarterback.
No, I don't think he had the best game. I think he had an extremely efficient game. Yeah, I don't think he had the best.
Okay. Who was better between him and Tua?
This week?
Yeah.
You saying?
Tua had?
Let me double check. I know they.
You about to be?
Right? They beat Atlanta, right?
In trouble. Yeah, he played Atlanta.
Tua probably had a better game than him this week. Sure.
Okay. Now.
What's that mean though?
How? So to you, does an MVP have to have the best game? Like at least a few weeks, right?
Yeah, which he did last week. He had the game. He had the best game.
You think he had the best? He had the best game of all the quarterbacks.
He was perfect. He's perfect pass rating. How are you gonna get better than that?
Man, listen, it ain't all about pass rating.
But he name me one quarterback.
It's some about it. Some about it.
He had a better game than him last week.
But his. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying some of it is. Okay, so like for example,
every week, no, not by it. No,
that's what I say. Because like, I mean, the passer rating thing is kind of like, I mean, if you're on low volume, it's gonna be easier to have a better.
He wasn't on low volume though.
Didn't he threw what 28, 27?
He was.
I think it was 26 or 27 in passing attempts, if I'm not mistaken. And this week he threw 20.
He was last week. He was.
So Tua was 20 of 26.
He was 20 of 26.
Yeah, 20 of 26, 206 yards, 4 tutties, 138 passer rating. So Jalen was a little bit better in passer rating, but Tua had more yards, same amount of touchdowns, no interceptions, and he scored 34.
Out of I don't know how many times I gotta look up how many times we ran it last week, but no, he was 19 for 23, 326, 82% completion.
So like that's low volume to me. That would be low volume.
He had 326 yards with 19 completions.
Yeah, no. He was a beast. Right. I'm not saying he was. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying like the passer rating part.
Okay.
The passer rating part.
But when you ask
it's easier on lower volume. But he was efficient as heck. I'm not saying he's not efficient. That's not what I'm saying.
When you ask me the question of, do you think he has to have the best game? No, I don't think a quarterback who wins MVP has to have the best game of any quarterback every single week. I don't believe that.
No, not every single week. I was asking how many times do you think? Because if you're consistently finishing in third, like, is that an MVP?
But it also depends on like is the same guy finishing first every week or second? Like,
see, that's the hard part. No, so you're right about that. You're right. So do you value basically I think you value more consistency over like the big game here, the bad game there.
Agreed. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, and see that's a fair assessment. I don't think that's unruly. I just don't think that Jalen's had enough good games, like above good games. Not above average, because he is playing really well. I want to stress that he's playing really well. So it's not that he's not having but he's not having those like cream of the crop. This was the best quarterback of this week, offensive player of the week, like type week. Not just really not ever really. He needs to have more of those because like Tua outplayed him this week.
Out of the 8 games he's played so far, he has been the best quarterback so far in 2 of them. Against the Rams, and against the Rams, he was to me the best quarterback that week.
Okay.
And the media even collaborated. It's like that's the best game I've ever seen Jalen Hurts play, regardless of Super Bowls. Everything that was the
Okay.
best game we've seen.
Okay.
And then last
And
week,
then last week. Okay. Okay.
So those to me,
Okay. So I mean, 2 of 8 is not. That's not horrible.
with 9 games left in the season. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
I
right.
think he has. There's a lot more
Again,
samples
things
to
are
go.
things are subject to change. Like you said, he has 2 big games coming up because he's about to play
Again,
Jared Goff head to head,
we have to play the Packers first, and then
and
Detroit.
then he's about to play. So that's 2 quarterbacks.
Let me actually look at his
That's 2
schedule.
quarterbacks that are above him in QBR too. So those are 2 pretty good quarterbacks.
QBR?
Yeah, he's 7th.
Oh, okay.
He's 7th. It's not like he's crazy ahead of him.
You think he's better than him?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
No.
No.
He's only got 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's not. No.
The
I actually,
Eagles-
to be honest, I wanted to like Jordan Love. I just think again he's just a game manager. He's like a younger version. He's like a not a watered down version of Jalen Hurts, but that he's like he's not Jalen Hurts, but he's not like but he has a similar skill set though.
But see,
can you say that?
Yes, but this is where me and you go. Is that like this is where I go with you? Is that but his scheme though is meant for him to pass the ball over the yard. Like that's the scheme he plays in,
and that's why I say he's not as good.
Yeah,
because he doesn't. He doesn't do
many games, and I think this could decide a lot over this back stretch of the season with the Eagles. And we'll move on to our next topic after this. After this bye week, we don't play next week. We have the bye week, which I think is very much needed with AJ Brown being down, and I think he's going to be there for the Packers game in 2 weeks. And Saquon Barkley did leave the game in the fourth quarter with a groin injury. He did look fine on the sideline. It wasn't nothing crazy. I think they were just kind of like, just keeping him out because we were up big. So I think that's going to be big. But we have the Packers coming off the bye week on a Thursday night, November 10th. Lions after that. Cowboys on the road, which it's really hard for us usually to play on the road in Dallas, being a division opponent. We got the Bears, who have been playing well as of late. They lost today, but they have been playing better as of late. I think that is a win for us. The Chargers, which that's going to be a tough one on the road. The Raiders, Commanders, Bills. I think if he plays well leading up into that Bills game on the road, I think that will be a kind of a determination of like, all right, is he going to be an MVP candidate over this next 7 weeks? I think you can see you'll be able to see what he's going to be, and so that's my take on it. You guys let me know. You guys comment your thoughts, what you guys think, as far as do you think Jalen Hurts is playing at MVP level? Drop in the comments who are your top 5 picks right now for MVP?